Hey there, guys. Tonight I got to watch Baywatch, and I never really watched the TV show as a kid. I caught a couple episodes here and there, and the only thing I really ever remember was David Hasselhoff, Pamela Anderson, and the whole slow jogging crap that they did in the show. And from what I could tell from watching Baywatch tonight, this is definitely not your daddy's Baywatch.
The canals into the damn X Games.
Yeah, that's because we were in lifeguard pursuits.
There's no such thing as lifeguard pursuit. How do I explain this so that you people understand?
You people? You people?
Oh, you don't get to say that. You're just 10.
Right on.
Come on, brother.
So if you've been following along with the trailers, then you already know that this definitely isn't the same as the TV show. Where the TV show was more serious, this one is more of a comedy. They did the same thing with other TV shows like the 21 Jump Street and the new Chips movie that came out. And like those movies where they took a serious TV show and then they made it into a raunchy comedy. And boy, is Baywatch really raunchy. Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron play in this movie, and they do pretty good together, especially when they go back and forth throwing jokes at each other and whatnot. And the movie is also directed by Seth Gordon, who did Horrible Bosses and the Identity Thief movie. And I actually really liked Horrible Bosses. It was definitely one of the funniest movies I've seen in the last 10 years. So I had high hopes for this movie going in, but I gotta say, I was honestly kind of disappointed with this one. I'm not saying I didn't have fun with this movie. I was actually pretty entertained throughout, but it wasn't like up there with, say, the 21 Jump Street movies, where when those movies came out, I absolutely loved them. They had these clever ideas thrown in, and they were really funny. I thought Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum did a really good job. And I was really expecting that from Baywatch, but it was kind of the same jokes, and like I said, it was very raunchy, and it kind of went overboard in some scenes. The story follows Zac Efron, who joins up with Dwayne Johnson's lifeguard team, and basically Dwayne Johnson's character is trying to uncover where these drugs are coming from, and that's kind of like where it becomes like familiar territory, where they go and they sneak into parties or go undercover and stuff like that. And there's really not much else. The story was actually kind of disappointing to me. There wasn't really any, surprise moments or anything like that. And it definitely much failed, in my opinion. The best parts of the movie were the parts where Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron are kind of going back and forth with each other, and they had this great chemistry with each other that I really enjoyed. But there were other subplots that I really wasn't interested in. Like, there's subplots between these other two lifeguards that it just wasn't funny, in my opinion. They dragged on, and that was one thing I noticed about this movie was it wasn't really all that funny throughout. There were some moments where I burst out laughing. I had a good chuckle, but there were really long, drawn out moments where there was really no one laughing in the theater that we were in, and except for maybe this one guy that was like 3 rows down that like laughed at every joke. I was kind of like, well, I mean, I guess that's his sense of humor. But like I said, I really didn't find it as funny as I wanted it to be. And I knew going into this movie that it was going to be raunchy because it has that hard R rating. But for guys expecting to go into this movie to see a lot of boobs and hot women getting undressed and stuff like that, you're going to be very disappointed. There's actually a lot of penis in this movie. Something I didn't really have to see. And they show a lot of it. So thanks, Baywatch, for that. Thank you a lot. Something else that kind of bothered me about the movie were the few little action scenes that were in it. I know this is a comedy and it's not an action movie, and the action scenes aren't supposed to be spectacular or anything, but really there's a couple action scenes that really were just pretty lame, and you could tell that there was a ton of green screen in this movie, and the CGI is just so freaking fake looking. Like there's a scene with a bow that has fire around it, and the fire looks so fake, and it was a pretty big distraction for me. Too hard sometimes to be funny. And I know it's not meant to be serious, and you can definitely tell in the movie that they know that it's all a joke to them. Like they know that they're definitely not taking any of this serious, but it's kind of hard to enjoy it when the jokes fall pretty flat and not everything really works out. Now, I'm not trying to down this movie. Like I said, I had a good time with it. There's some good chemistry between the two main leads that I really enjoyed, and some jokes were pretty funny. And it was nice to see a couple clever cameos pop up, but it's just, I was disappointed, and I thought this movie was going to be funnier than it was, especially coming from from the director that directed Horrible Bosses, because that movie was really funny. But if I was to give this movie a score, I'd have to give it probably a 6 out of 10. So that's my review of Baywatch. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like my video, and also if you like my videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm trying to come up with new ideas for these videos, so if you guys have like any suggestions on what you'd like to see or what you would like for me to talk about, definitely shoot a comment down below. And as always, have a wonderful night, guys.